I'll give two. One of them I learned is being okay with who you are and not letting that stop you from being who you could become. Because I feel like on a mission, your weaknesses are magnified by like tenfold. And it's interesting though, because God helps you through it. Whether it's a companion that will help you with it, or give you a new perspective on it, or even meeting someone with that same weakness, or with the same situation that you have been in. I thought that was always the coolest thing, because as missionaries, we're broken people, meaning that we have our own problems, our own weaknesses, our own things that become our little roadblocks, and we still try our best to help the people on our mission, whether they are different missionaries or whether they're members or investigators. But I feel like it's when we try our best to help them, that with their problems that are the same, or whether we had that problem at some time in our life, that we're able to fix it together. I remember in Kosovo, we were at in a lesson. It was a member lesson, and my companion felt that we needed to talk about forgiveness. And it came out of the blue when she said it. I was like, okay, like if you feel like it, let's do it. And our mission president was able to be in on that lesson with us because he was up for interviews. And that was also one of the most powerful lessons I've had. This member is one of my sisters. She is solid and amazing. And as we were talked about forgiveness, she was saying how she can forgive everyone but this one person. She was saying what the person had done, and not done to her, but how it's affected her. As the lesson went on, I realized that I had that same problem as her with a relationship in my life that I've always just brushed aside, knowing it could be better, but sort of holding a grudge with it and being, it's not my fault, sort of. And I remember how during that lesson I realized that me holding this grudge against this person was denying the atonement for them and for myself, because Christ didn't just die for our sins, he died for us to overcome anything, and one of them was for me to be able to forgive people. And that day, I will never forget that day, because during that lesson, I decided to forgive this person. And our mission president, he challenged this member to pray for that person who she was having a hard time with for 2 weeks. Every single day, pray for her by name. And after a couple weeks, let us know how it was going. And when he was saying that to that member, I took it as he was saying that to me as well, about the relationship that was a problem in my life. And so I did that as well. And so it was really interesting. After 2 weeks, the member came up and I saw her and I was like, hey, how's it going? Like, how are you feeling? She's like, I feel totally fine now. Like, I don't hate her anymore. I'm okay with her. They weren't like best buds or anything, but that bad feeling towards that person was gone. And I know that that's applicable to us. Even if there's someone we're annoyed with, pray for them by name every single time you pray, because I did that, and my feelings towards this person changed drastically. And I knew I was being healed in a way by the atonement, knowing that I was doing my part, even though it might not have necessarily changed the situation. I knew I wasn't as guilty anymore, because I knew that I had done what I needed to do. And so that was interesting, how even though we go on a mission with so many problems, you think they're going to go away. Like your shyness, because I'm super shy, it's like your shyness is going to go away, but it doesn't. But you learn how to cope with it, and you learn how to not let it stop you from progressing or becoming who you need to be. And the second thing I learned, life lesson, was how powerful charity is. And I always laugh because I'm like, God, be careful when you want to pray for charity. Because when it comes, it's annoying because you don't want to have charity for some people. But I know that's something I learned towards the end of my mission very powerfully, was you don't have to like a person, but you have to love the person. And praying for charity really helps serving the person, whoever it may be, especially if you're not getting along super well. I think praying for charity changes it. And it might not change the situation, because it didn't for me, but it changed my perspective on it. And it can make it a very sacred experience, because you start to realize how God feels about them and what God thinks about them. And then you start to change how you think and feel about them as well. And then it all works out in the end.